presented by Montefiore Einstein. Or by Hyundai. Get away with great deals on every new Hyundai, only at the Make Every Moment More. And by Acura. Precision crap could be. They're starting 1 through 7 on opening day, and they also on the mound, John.
Catch up the rest of the way. So, you know, spring training's different for every player.
We're dealing with the psychological aspect of things. Let's take a look at today's starting lineup brought to you. Pinto and Basabe round out the Rays. Start there on the mound with them, right?
Good look at the flight of the baseball. To change it up and come out of Tampa in a good frame of mind. Confidence.
Fifth, and he will face the away. Drives this in the air to right center and deep. Judge looking up.
Batting average, but also in the power department. And he did not waste any time. Rays off to a quick start.
Here is Lau. In that live BP, he did give up 4 home runs on his results throughout this spring training.
Pretty good spot at this point in spring training.
Is Sky to left. Over is Verdugo to Mayu and Peraza on the left side. Torres and Rizzo on whether it's Wells or Trevino. Presumably Trevino if he's back healthy.
Locked and loaded early on, especially.
1-1 here on a Rosarena. Tips it fast.
Elevated targets, middle of the plate, and slow sliders, just like that last year.
The 2 middle. Peraza over. And he's not missing any further action. This a little ring though was working kind of 89-91 in the early going.
But you know, starting pitchers, it's a process during the spring, getting their legs on.
Swinging 3-0 and just whip. An 840 OPS, 98 runs batted in. Big swing there. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him to the dish as we take a look at today's starting lineup brought to you by your local Tri-State Volkswagen.
Going to face the young right-hander Taj Bradley. You see his numbers last year, 5 last year.
LeMahieu leading off. Take for Soto and for Judge as he swings and misses. 0-2. To Bradley, gloves it, and the underhand scoop to retire. Diaz in the infield and Pinto behind the. Here is Juan Soto.
Balls not give them away. Always goes deep in the count. Takes a lot of early pitch.
A 1-1. 2-1.
Pitches and drive the baseball.
Swings and misses there. 9.
A good look at the swing from the side.
Here's the 2-2. And it's full. Here's the payoff. Center field, a base hit. Launch 5 games of spring. And as Aaron Judge steps in, that because the Soto acquisition has players on the planet, and obviously he's followed in the lineup by.
That's the way he goes about his business every day. It's a greater appreciation
offensively for this team. Sit in the air down the right field line. Rosario on the. Even when Judge doesn't come close to getting it, he's still. Here's Anthony Rizzo. Takes a strike. And 0-2 on the 0-2. Gooped into shallow right. It's going to get on its second.
Wing, but just muscles it into right center field.
The 0-1.
And just driving in runs by putting the baseball in play. But I thought it was just the ball in play.
And he has worked this east. 3-2, 2 out, so the runners will be going. The 3-2 to second. That will end the thread. All over it in Tampa as Carlos Rodon deals ball. Jack, I know you've processed this.
About this a lot. He's the X factor out. This ball is going to find the glove instead of find some grass. strikeouts per 9 innings that he led Major League Baseball in. First inning after the Diaz homer, actually tripled up on breaking pitches.
You know, Jack, I mentioned also, I think he needs to have a good spring for the
spring training player is, and it's the veteran and doesn't have anything to. We're going to get another out there on player who does need those results. He needs to. That's what you're taking into the offseason. So I agree with you. I think results are imperative. It doesn't mean
ERA numbers. Look, he led the majors in ERA. But for this team, that would be great. What they really need is him to just at least be.
And you want to be able to trust the pitchers that you give the baseball to every 5 days. And Don has owned all of this, guys. He has talked in spring training about the need.
And Jack, chime in on this as well. To navigate trying to incorporate that in spring and
big outing. What are we working on? That's going to be an easy fly ball to right field on a good fastball, a little bit in some comfortable counts. So, you know, obviously for a veteran, you got to make some adjustments and try to figure it out.
Baseball this year, he's doing a better job of hiding it. And Blake said that would
lifts that in the air down the left. Chopped up the middle. Torres. Taj Bradley showed an impressive fastball in the first. Faces John Carr in their order. A big swing there from Stan.
98.
He got in on him. Loop to right and
setting up behind second base, covers a lot of ground.
Here's Verdugo. Strike. Another quality bat that the Yankees have had. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Chase 97, a big arm. Oh, nice play on a backhand stop. Diaz tosses. You know, Jack told us about 65. One gets in on Diaz. Easy for
Rodon getting some positive feedback on that pitch. And then I just think back to last year. If you were a right-handed hitter facing Carlos Rodon, jump down and away from a righty, you put another thought into a hitter's mind.
Nice piece.
And Lau, who's just trying to stay healthy and put a full year together, because we know
catch last season. Rosarena jammed, skies it into left, easy for.
So a couple of good quality to pound that cutter in on the righties.
Paredes struck out. He is the
away.
That's grounded to third. LeMay issue. Facing Taj Bradley, who's been impressive thus far. His strength and his ability to make hard contact at the plate, but Johnson Ryan. But I'm talking about as a broadcaster.
Right.
To the air to center field.
Your physical shape when you come into spring training, so obviously put the work in.
Into right center. Luka there again. Much they obviously have always admired him, but just getting to be around him now.
1-2. I'll figure out a way to get it done. Stays since 2018. And also the ability, you're dragging a little bit. This guy never gives away an at-bat. Day in and day out.
Right.
You got to pick it up if you're a teammate.
Left side. Paredes. The Rays a 1-0 lead on the Yankees. Top of the fourth inning. Carlos Rodon of what you've seen so far today.
Yeah, he's pitching, which is nice to see. He doesn't have his work. His work's been really good, and that's the biggest thing. Is I want to continue to trust his work. He's just got to continue to pitch and.
I think I saw a changeup away. That ball is drilled to left field, but it's seeing in this outing from Carlos.
Be those days, just based on I think where he's at physically, where he's going to go out.
Oh, just the mental, emotional space Rodon is in. We know, it's tough.
He's put in the work. He's done what he's needed to do to put himself in position to be successful. As long as you're doing your part to make sure you're ready to go physically and mentally each and every time.
Fastball velocity not where it's going to be during the year, but he's up, in the
up. He's in a good place. Away.
Dive into any other topics on a 2-2 count, just like Michael and me. Arrow's driven in the air to right field and deep. Soto looked on the rest of the first, second, and third, but a double and a homer. We will chat more with Aaron Boone on the other side. What has it, the physical part of it for Peraza?
You know, I think he's kept and carried that now into the win. It's important, you know, because he's such a good player. Got him. I bet you know, he's a gifted fielder. He's, you know, got in that at the big league level. And obviously, you know, and that's why spring training is an important time for especially young players.
Especially crew, not only the guys at the big league level. We just saw a great throw.
Carlos Narvaez, which is elite behind the palm, and we feel like is getting better even this spring behind the plate. Sent out is another guy we really hang on. So our catching crew,
what a luxury.
In the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Well, the Rays are missing him time late in the season. Jeffrey Springs, Judge, flies it out to center.
There have just been devastating injuries. And to win 90, inducing pitching talent, position player-wise, and you would expect them to be in the hunt again.
Torres.
But your names that we've never heard of.
Torres laces that to right field.
So we know Baltimore is going to be a beast in the American League East. The Yankees here has to find a way to get ready to hit a little bit earlier so he can take care.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Nine.
Well, you know, we talked about Soto loading up on his back leg. So Giancarlo.
As Verdugo goes down. To your feet are the numbers from his 2 stars in 2023 in single A after undergoing. But we know there was a lot to Peraza. Can't quite get to that rocket. Yandy Diaz. And you know that ERA is inflated by one poor start in 2022 before
the injury and in a devastating slider, occasional changeup.
You have to know you're at minimum going 7-8 deep. Gill and Weaver as well.
Happens, you're the name that is leading the depth chart on. Okay, go down.
Lau, runner on first, no left side. Peraza there.
A major league team last year, it was 13. So you're going to need, but the other 3, Hampton, Warren, and Beater. I spoke to Kevin Reese, guys who belong, the guys who maybe aren't totally sure of themselves.
That's great to hear, Jack. And powered in the air, deep center field. Judge.
A good feel by watching somebody out on the mound, but I think also getting to know them. As we were stretching before the game, was good enough to pitch here.
Yeah.
And he got called up, and you know, all of a sudden got off to a good day. I don't have to do anything different. My stuff is good enough. Body language, very camping. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Right. I get some big league experience. I got to show this organization I'm ready if they need me.
Strike 3 got him looking.
Sitting right next to Aaron Boone during spring training games, that will be your location.
Making that forthcoming, you know, something that the next couple hitters, etc. And the second thing is just be honest with it. Calculate, but it plays a role.
So hypothetical in the what does.
Good stuff from Jack with Brett off ground. Right up the middle and through. That is going to.
Things getting a little sloppy for the Rays defensively here in the 5th inning. Asset for not a draft pick.
Carved out quite a baseball life after that. If you think they don't, well, you're lost.
About 85%, and the other 15% feel.
No. There's something either that just can't be. He should get a rest day, but we want him back in there because I know he's in a good place. Those things.
Waited from Dartmouth. Played in the minor league system. Looked up to him as a receiver.
Drives that in the air to left field. Rosarena makes
a big deal. And then he ends up in San Diego. Look at the players that you get traded for. And I was like, no way. Like, Detroit got talked about it. We've had some back and forths, you know, later on. Well, I think the Tigers got a pretty good player, too, in myself, and he's a Joe Torre.
Yeah.
He would always give him some different thoughts on some things that need.
He's always ultimately going to decide, but when I...
The best job he can do as a bench coach.
Sure. Basabe will throw. Top of the 6th inning to right, a homer off the bat of Yandy Diaz. Then Rodon settled down through the rest. Rip to right field. Soto looking up. It's gone.
Well, you get the feeling that Rosario is going to...
Popped up. Left side. LeMahieu with the double and the 2-run homer.
Yeah, believe it or not, I would not be thinking, especially in the legs. So, yeah, a double and a home run's not the way you want to end it. Usual for this time of spring.
Peraza, high throw.
As everybody should, and Peraza just a little bit.
2 out, nobody on, and takes a big rip. Heel comes right.
Strike 3.
Just misses there
before the injury, and maybe a tick above.
There you go. That was the high fastball, able to catch up with Carlos Rodon.
You know, it was good to see some
Of your plus fastball today, but he appreciated that you pitched and you just detailed.
Take some swing and miss on those. Sprinkled in some change-ups that in the whole arsenal, and eventually just go out there and compete and pitch, not think about, you know, what are we going to work on the mound. I don't know. Can you I don't know. Take it at that.
Thanks, Carlos. Back to you guys.
It's because of his honesty. Fastball wasn't there. I mixed in cutters and changeups. Cutter a lot, so a lot of progress. Now you look forward to that next outing. And the biggest...
We'll give him to you. Torres turns on that, drives it in the air, deep left field.
Well, we talked earlier about right back in the 6th and reacts with a home run that he's reacting, where you're taking care. Stanton works underneath that one to right field, and that's what it looked like.
Gleyber coming off a season
down, right? They went through some streaks. Gleyber just seemed to...
Since 2019. Verdugo goes down. 7th inning coming up next.
Jeff Nelson can gladly take over the seat tomorrow night.
Wow, just giving it up. A wholesale changes. Changes now as well. As Heel.
Just get a really good plan before that bat. Don't swing everything. Don't be too aggressive. And I think was great for me last.
Say that's who Gleyber needs to be. How do you feel about that approach?
The plan was last year was like don't try to do too much. Just put the game is just teach you what you have to do and just follow.
Gleyber, you're the second baseman. Talk to him about whether the point I was making by saying that is I think when Gleyber is
0-2 here on Jones. I think Ramirez the new pitcher. Also,
we try and give you some creativity and mix it up a little bit.
Showing butt. Carlos Garcia, the new pitcher for here. Behind second, Williams. In Peraza's spot. Breaks his bat and grounds it to first. Here's Kevin Smith. One just keeping up with who's in the game. As Smith pounds a single into center.
Shown plenty of power. He's an aggressive left-handed hitter, so he's definitely Josh Van Meter getting an opportunity here in the 7th, and that was to catch bullpens eyes in the bullpen during the game. As Van Meter going to ground